Hi, my name is Emily, and I have been coming to Crossroads since day one.
And I'm Nick, and I've been coming for 10 years now. I've been volunteering with the youth group for 3.
So I grew up in church my whole entire life. My parents and I always went. I'm an only child, and my whole family that I can remember has always been Christians. So I've never really felt any different ways with religion, so I just always made it a habit to go to church on Sundays.
As for me, I've always growing up, I had a semi-in, semi-out kind of relationship with church. We went occasionally, but not all the time. And definitely when we went, we never engaged. We didn't stay past once the sermon ended. We were the first ones out of the parking lot on our ways home. When I first started coming to Crossroads, I tried a couple of things, and actually once we started dating, we tried a couple of things together, volunteering in a couple different areas, and we never really found our niche, as you could call it. We didn't get plugged in.
So I would say the first part, when we first got married, we decided to volunteer in the youth ministry, and we're currently upperclassmen, student life group leaders. And just seeing those kids grow in their faith and just going outside of their comfort zone just to show God's love is really cool to see, and just knowing that we can have an impact in that in any way, and so that really makes us grow in our relationship with God, plus get to see those kids and helping them out. So the main reason why we decided to serve in the youth group is because we were impacted in our youth group here, and my youth group leader has just been a huge impact in my life. And when we got married, she actually wrote me a letter on our wedding day because she wasn't able to come since they are missionaries in Romania. And she doesn't know how much of an impact that was to me. And I would just love to be an Andrea for just one of our students someday, and just be there for them, and maybe even go to their wedding someday.
I don't have the same cool story of growing up with a leader who really poured into my life. The main reason that I volunteer with the youth group is actually because of the opposite. I grew up without a positive male role model. My dad wasn't around, and when he was around, it wasn't a great situation. And so I grew up basically my entire life with no father figure, no positive male role model to show me how to become a man and to live after Christ. And once I got plugged in with the youth group, I realized that I can be that for kids who don't have that. For kids who might not have a dad, or their dad's around but isn't the greatest example, or they just need an additional male role model, and I can step into that role and provide something that I never had. Once I plugged myself into the youth group and fully just went for it, and abandoned everything that I was thinking, and just sought the heart of God and how I could display that to these students, my life was changed. My relationship with God was taken to an entirely new level, where it's not about what the church can do for me now. It's about what I can do for God and how I can show His love to a generation that desperately needs it. Yeah, I remember back when we were first married and just not plugged in at all, and coming to church and leaving right after and going home and just hanging out with each other. There was this constant feeling that something was missing. And now that we've really stepped into what God has for us, that gap has been closed. We no longer feel like something is missing. And for anybody out there who thinks serving might not be for you, or is unsure of the whole serving thing, I want to tell you it's totally for you. Serving is for everyone. There's a spot for you. You might not know it yet, but once you find it, I promise your life will never be the same.